Today I want to talk about something that it's a little bit of a feeling that something's going to happen. It's just one of those yucky feelings in the pit of my stomach, and I think a lot of people are thinking about this. It's about the next terrorist attack, and I'm not talking about just a shooting in a mall or somebody blowing up themselves in a crowded market and 30 or 40 people dying, which is horrible. Don't get me wrong, that's horrible, but what I'm thinking is going to happen soon is the big terrorist attack. The one that literally changes civilization in Europe or the United States. And we're not talking about 30 or 40 or 130 people dying like died in Paris, France in that horrible attack, or like the one we just had in Belgium where 34 people died, or even 9/11 where almost 3,000 people died. This one could be big. It could be 10,000 people, it could be 100,000 people, it could be 500,000 people, it could be 1 million people. If ISIS terrorists get a hold of nuclear material, you know that's what they'd like to do. And they've been planning it, they've been thinking about it, they'd love to carry it out. They love to wreak havoc in either Western Europe or the United States. And because the leaders in Europe, the European Union, Angela Merkel and Germany, have pretty much just opened up their borders to let all kinds of refugees just flood in by the millions to Western European countries. And while there are people legitimately fleeing the terror and war in their countries, there's a lot of room in Middle Eastern countries for these people. Iran, Saudi Arabia, other countries could take millions of them in. Why aren't they? Why are they letting them invade Europe and invade the United States? What's coming is not going to be pretty. Eventually it will either be a nuclear attack, a biological attack, or a coordinated attack that happens maybe in multiple countries in Europe at the same time. And the authorities will not be able to respond to it in any manner or any amount of time that will give people any kind of a feeling that they live in a secure country and continent anymore. This will be a civilization-shaking event. It's being planned. I don't have any idea when it's going to carry out. I have no idea who specifically is going to do it. I have no information on anything like this. But this is at the heart of radical Islam. This is what they want to do. They want to usher in the time of the Mahdi, which is their apocalyptic prophet. But it's not a good scenario that's shaping up in Europe. And we certainly in the United States do not think that Barack Hussein Obama can really do anything to defend the United States from this kind of an attack eventually. So why is it that Obama went to Paris at the climate change conference, and about a month after the horrific attacks there that killed 130 people, and this was about a week after the San Bernardino shootings that killed 14 people, and Obama made the most ridiculous statement you can imagine. He actually said that, now he was speaking of the San Bernardino shooting, and he actually said that these kinds of attacks, he actually said that these kinds of attacks don't happen in any other countries in the world. And this was a month after terrorists blew themselves up and shot and killed 130 people in France, and Obama said that in France. Now, if you don't think that he's disconnected from reality by making a statement such as that, then I don't know what would convince you that he is. But that all boils down to, here's a man that's completely inept at identifying the perpetrators of such violence, of talking about who they really are and the causes of why they're doing what they're doing. Just like the Brussels attack. It happened while he was in Cuba, and at a news conference, right after the attack, or shortly after the attack, he spent 52 seconds, amazingly, 52 seconds talking about the attack in Brussels. All the other leaders of the world are condemning it, are getting in touch with people in control of the Belgian government. Obama gives a 52-second response to the terrorist attack, and what does he do? He entertains himself by going to a Cuban baseball game. Lovely. Our president is in a communist country while Europe is being burnt to the ground. Facing terrible consequences. The world is facing terrible consequences unless we come to realize the threat of Islamic terrorism. The next attack, or the big attack, is not going to be pretty. It's going to be a civilization-changing event. And unless the Western world wakes up, because you can bet that ISIS knows the nature of the fight that they are in. They want to spread radical Islam throughout the entire world. They're trying to usher in the caliphate. They want the caliphate to control the world, just as Hitler wanted to control Europe. Islam wants to control that same amount of territory. Well, the entire world. And if you don't think that is what they're going after, and they know that they're going after that, then you don't realize the nature of the battle. Just like President Obama. So the next terrorist attack, the big one, is going to be devastating. Like I said, it could be 10,000, it could be 100,000, it could be 500,000 or 1 million people if they get a hold of nuclear arms. It's not going to be pretty. And the authorities will not be able to respond to it in any reasonable amount of time or clean it up, because it's going to be devastating and it's going to change the way civilization runs. And we're at a pivotal moment in history. Do we react? Do we smash radical Islam? Or do we let it grow like a cancer? There's only one answer if the Western world is going to survive. And it damn sure is not going to be implemented by Barack Hussein Obama. Why we have that poser as president? It's flabbergasting. I have no idea. I have no idea why this man is still president and why our wimpy authorities, the men in our military, don't do something about this man. Thank God he's going to be out of office in less than a year. But I don't know if the Western world can survive that long, because the next radical Islamic terrorist event is being planned, and it's coming, and it's going to devastate the world. I don't know if we're prepared. I don't think we are.